So this is another classic Nintendo conundrum, is that they will sell one of the best-selling consumer products of all time, and then their next generation they'll try something and it doesn't work and it will sell absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, so number one best-selling of all time is PlayStation 2.
PlayStation PS2, but best-selling console of all time. Number two is the Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
People might remember it was like the Game Boy Advance successor that had it was like a clamshell flip design.
Yeah.
That sold like 150 million units. And that doesn't even include the next one, which was 70 million units.
Yeah.
The volumes are insane for like video game consoles.
Yeah.
And then 3 is the Nintendo Switch, which is currently still out, having been released in 2017, and still sells like 8 million a quarter.
Yeah. I mean, they're still raking it in cash-wise. And as you said, by having underpowered devices that you don't update, their margins are pretty good.
Margins are great.
They're consistent. Gross margins are high. Net margins are good too, in the 20 to 30% range. Like 6 years after its release, just bringing in cash. Like it's a lovely business.
It's a very solid business.
As well as it obviously being like built on this IP where people buy a Nintendo product so they can play the new Zelda, so they can play the new Mario. And I know that to a certain extent people do that kind of with like Xboxes and like Halo and whatever. But like, COD's multi-platform, like, FIFA's multi-platform. Mate, you haven't been staying up to date on the latest Activision Blizzard. COD will stay multi-platform.
Well, for 10 years or whatever their claim is.
But like Nintendo's, people are just buying for like, what's the new Mario going to be? And it's going to be different. That's the other thing. Like COD is just, it's a reskinned friggin'...
Yeah, totally.
And whatever. Whereas like Mario, and there's a new one coming, right?
Yeah, there's a new one that just came out this week.
Yeah, okay, sure. Whatever, interesting. But this is why one of my favorite like tech business anecdotes of all time, Microsoft, before releasing the Xbox, they were like trying to buy up developers and whatever, and they really wanted to buy Nintendo. And this came up in the Phil Spencer leaks because, the Xbox, Activision, Blizzard, blah, 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 court case has been going on, got leaked. Turns out it was leaked by Microsoft. Someone screwed up. But regardless, it reminded me of one of my favorite anecdotes of all time, which is in the early 2000s when Microsoft approached Nintendo because they wanted to buy Nintendo. I say this because apparently they were throwing it around a few years ago again, like, can we buy Nintendo? They're worth kind of $45 billion. We're about to spend more than that on friggin' Activision Blizzard. And the responses were like, we've tried this. Nintendo is not for sale. I think the quote was, they don't care about making money. And anyway, so in 2001, Kevin Backus, who was the director of third-party relations on the Xbox project, they went to Nintendo and they did this presentation on how good a fit Nintendo would basically be for Xbox. The Microsoft pitch was, we have the technology, like the device, like we have the console, you got the IP. Imagine your IP on our console. And the Kevin Backus quote was, they laughed their asses off. Like, imagine an hour of someone just laughing at you. That was kind of how the meeting went. And like, I can't think of, if you're doing a meeting, especially if you've flown to Japan to present to like a board of directors in a Japanese board of directors room, like, and you're not telling jokes, I think people laughing at every single slide that you're flicking through is the worst. Like the absolute worst response that you could possibly have.
It's not a great experience. No, totally.
Just Japanese guys laughing every slide. And obviously our technology will... That sounds horrible.
You don't want that. You don't want that. Because you're right. In these recent leaks from the Xbox Activision thing, they said, Nintendo is not for sale. We've given it a go before. But also they're sitting on an absolutely massive pile of cash, which would blow out the value of the acquisition, essentially. Hey, Raf.
Hey, James.
Did you know that you can get an extra episode of Down Round every single week on top of the one that you're already getting?
Yeah, I knew that.
Well, obviously you know, but the person is... I'm using you as a vessel to explain.
Sorry, as I'm the listener. No, go on, tell me more, James. How much does it cost?
A mere $7 a month, Raf.
Okay, where do I go to find out more about this?
You go to downround.net.
Okay, I want it.
Well, I'm sure you do.
I feel like I'm missing out by not having it.
Exactly. No ads. Second episode per week. And a few other little goodies that are coming down the pipeline as well. Head to downround.net.
Downround.net.
And sign up to Downround Premium.